Hello, and welcome to a very important episode of the Stalktober special event of the Heart of the Jakuls. I'm your informative host, Lothran, and I hope you pay special attention to this tale. So grab the best sustenance that you can ever achieve, settle into a spot you have won through challenge and triumph, and take the pleasure of the rest you have earned. This is Alvarah Duat. "This is not what I expected," he said to the hovering diamond before him. They said, "Nothing like this." A man pulled himself out of the diamond, but as he did so, clothes formed around his naked, scaled, gray and golden skin. The diamond shrank till it ceased to exist. "I'm special, that's true. But those that protect this place, they fear stepping into the Duat proper." He gestured up and to each side with his hands. The walls flaked giant sheets of paper made of stone and metal, but sounding and smelling just like the musty old tones they had begun to mimic. "Alvarah Duat, my home, my eternal coffin. Do you know how the Vu punish crimes?" The Thade shook his pointed face. "No. I've learned as much as I can of the Vu, but I've seen no evidence of punishment in their methods." The Thade brushed at the smooth, deep crimson fur sticking out from his clothes. "Well, you might not call it punishment. A better set of words is erasure than rewriting. Commit a crime and do it willingly, for the sake of pleasure or selfishness. Have that part of you imprinted to show your future self. Then they etch over that part of your mind, giving you 1,000 years of experience as to why you were wrong." The Vu fell silent for a time. "Maybe longer," he said, but he didn't elaborate on what he meant. Looking both ancient and haunted, his gaze fell to his toeless feet. "I committed a crime once. Terrible thing. They made exceptions, imprinting me with the emotions of those I afflicted, implanting a deeper sense of feeling than I was born with, and lacing it with infinite repeating patterns of the pain I inflicted upon others for brief periods of bliss. Regret is a powerful force." The Vu sat cross-legged in a simple, fluid motion. "That is sad to hear." The Thade remained where he stood. "But I am not here to ease your suffering." The Vu shut his eyes briefly, and then he stared up at the Thade. "Do you know you look very much like the Zir of old?" The Vu tilted his large black eyes up to his guest. "Even our enemies don't deserve what you have done to them. That's what they said. I wiped them from existence." He looked at the Thade, but in a distant, not really there fashion. A single press of a button, a lifetime of work fueled by hate, pride, an insular refusal to see reason. Yet after all my regret that I'd never have the chance to ask for forgiveness, here you are. A different name, a different beast, almost, but so much the same. Will you sit? They said it would be a test, that I wouldn't understand it. If this is it, I think you may have me confused for someone else. I require your assistance. I think you may have mistaken me for someone else. Are you aware of what I'm saying?" The Thade did sit reluctantly, but only when he realized the Vu would not continue to speak to him until he did. "There is no mistake." The Vu shook his head. "You're different. So much time, so much work put into such a project. could I never pay for what I have done? What terrible genocide I committed? Such horror. But please, would you like some tea? He brightened up on that last bit, summoning with a rising sweep of his palm a whistling kettle and 2 cups. He poured both without waiting for an answer. The Thade took the cup, feeling it cool in his hand. He looked around at their stark enclosure suspiciously. This is not at all what I expected. I came ready for a fight. That would explain the swords. Not much of an archer, are you? Levu asked of his guest as he sipped at his piping hot brew. Not really. I can hunt and shoot when I need to. I used to have other means of distance fighting. I made it from old Vu relics. Powerful, deadly. I loved having it, but hated using it. Made me famous, but not in a good way. People came and found me from all around to see it, to challenge me, to take it for themselves. It was too dangerous. I had to destroy it, but I couldn't do that, so I hid it where only a Thade could walk. He went on at length as he held his tea. When he looked down, he dropped his cup. It was now empty before he'd ever raised it to his lips. The Vu tilted his head at his charge. Oh, there is a challenge. But it won't be something you expect. It won't be something you recognize. The Thade went for his sword, his hand hesitating when he wrapped his fingers around the handle. He let go of the weapon in his flesh and in his mind. Perhaps I'm too quick to judge, too ready to slay instead of speak. It's feasible. It sounds likely. The Vu nodded, reaching for the shattered porcelain of the Thade's cup, reshaping it into a lump of dirt, and then the same cup it had been before. He poured more tea into it, offering it up to his companion. The Thade hesitated, knowing he'd say more of himself, things he didn't want to admit, no matter how loud they screamed to get out of the far reaches of his mind. Now he had little choice. If he truly desired that which led him here, he knew he had to take the cup and the steaming fluid within. It had to be his choice. He took it, draining the liquid into his face in a single swig. Glad I did that. Tastes amazing. The effects and affects seeping through his body by reflexive action. The Vu in all things are always seeking perfection. It is their marker, to seek that which cannot be found just for the pleasure of the journey, and any skill and virtue picked up along the way. The Vu tipped back his cup. Sweet, resilient hectap. Golden. The Vu described his drink. My turn again. Oh, the Vu. I'm glad I have this task. It has taught me so much. I see in others the parts of myself I want to strengthen, and the shards that I wish to mine up and out, to excavate and heal the hole that is left. I have much work to do to become the best version of self I can sculpt from the clay I have at hand. The Vu finished his speech, pouring himself more hectap, as well as refilling Thade's cup. Are we just going to do this forever? The Thade sipped at his drink, relishing every last molecule of the incredible substance held within. No, you will go again. I will go again. Then you one last time. Then you will tell me what you desire, why you have passed the first set of trials to sit here waiting to voice your request. Then I will tell you the cost. And if there is any weakness, any doubt in you, you'll be gone before I can finish describing the price you must pay. If there is no doubt, I will shake your hand, seal the deal, and you will go where you must, and that will be that. The Vu brought the hectap to his lips, savoring each droplet upon his tongue. And so it is. We've come to the end of our time together once more. I hope fervently that you kept your glinting eyes open for this one. As always, I've been your host, Lothran, and this was Alvarah Duat, another tale straight from the heart of the Jakuls. And now I must let you go, sending you along the proper path. Korvoth will lead you out. Go ahead, young Jakul.
Hello and good night to each and all. Please leave your comments, questions, and kindnesses down below. None of that terrible, rude, or mean stuff, though. Remember to like and share and subscribe to help us learn and spread and grow. And we strongly encourage each and every one of you to do everything in your power to stay safe out there. Goodbye and good night, everyone. Good luck. Stay safe.